Hi everyone, welcome back to Paisa, Bolta. I'm here with Anand today to talk about the news of the sugar ban, which is going to start from October in India. Because of the decrease in the sugarcane yields and because of insufficient rainfalls in the crop belt sector, the government is thinking it's prudent to ban export of sugar from India. This will be the first time India has halted sugar exports in 7 years. The reduction of sugar exports may cause the benchmark sugar prices to surge in New York and in London in the commodity markets. India's main objective, why they're doing this, the government is saying, is to to meet local sugar demands and to produce ethanol from the excess sugar cane. The current season ending on September 30th, India has permitted export of 6.1 million tons, a decrease from 11.1 million tons from the prior season. In 2016, a 20% tax on sugar exports was introduced by India to limit overseas sales. These are the steps taken by the government trying to curtail exports of sugar. And in Maharashtra and Karnataka, the two major cane production states in India, which have received 50% less monsoon rain than average, is the main reason for this ban to come into force. Local sugar prices in India have already surged to a 2-year high this week, and retail inflation in India has reached 7.44 in July, with food inflation at its highest over a 3-year period at 11.5%. Sugar production in India for the year 2023 to 24 is anticipated to drop by 3.3%, which is a 31.7 million ton. India recently implemented bans of non-basmati rice, white rice, and imposed a 40% export duty on onions. While this sugar ban has been imposed by India, globally people are expecting Thailand to Brazil to help meet the shortfall. But both Thailand and Brazil are not commenting on this, saying they may also be forced to cutting sugar exports themselves because of local demand. All this kind of speculation usually leads to investors thinking there's an arbitrage here. The sugar companies will see a bumper profit because they're already sitting on sugar reserves in their go down. That means the price will go up of the sugar, so the margin which they make per kilo of sugar is expected to go up. That means the earnings of these sugar companies should be good. Our sugar related allied companies should also be good. It's a kind of speculation most investors will think. I thought I'll bring Anand in to describe why this kind of speculation, especially when dealing with the government, is not such a good idea. If you're looking for a short-term gain, it is not a good idea because you cannot predict even the short term what is going to transpire with the government, because the government of India is only concerned about sugar price for the common man, and it's not worried about the macroeconomics and all the other things, whatever you think, because end of the day the government plays with the mass because it needs to be elected and has to come back to power. So it ensures on those grounds and doesn't worry about what's happening on any other realm. So I thought ask Anand to elaborate a little bit more on this and explain why this is not such a great idea.
See, sugar is made out of cane and is converted to sugar using sugar mills. Sugar mills have low equity participation and high debt.
Correct.
If you look at any sugar company, it will have extreme debt. And sugar is a commodity, you cannot brand it. So, sugar cane, in my opinion, is a very dangerous crop because it consumes huge amount of water.
Very true.
So what you are doing is basically keeping the farmer happy. The government wants to keep two constituents happy. It wants to keep the farmer happy and keep the consumer happy and forget the mill owner. So if you buy the stock, you become a shareholder of the mill owner, which you never want to be. So the farmer wants to squeeze the mill owner to make maximum price for the sugar cane so that he will crush.
Correct.
And then after the crushed sugar, you can get molasses and sugar after crushing the cane.
Yes, correct.
So this cane, now India is one of the largest producers of sugar.
True.
And sugar is sold through either in the open market and through ration shops.
Very true.
So ration shops have controlled price of sugars. So every mill has a quota which it has to sell it to the government and sell to the open market.
Very true.
And you can also export it. So sugar mills are perpetually sick because your debts are very high and you are always cursed with the commodity cycle.
Very true.
Whenever the price of sugar is low, government still insists that you pay higher price to the farmer.
Very true.
And when there's a shortage of sugar also, you pay a higher price because market demand pushes up.
Pushes up the price.
So you never get a fall in the commodity. If there is a bumper sugar crop, there should be a corresponding drop in the
It's not
cane
allowed
price.
to go through its natural cycle.
It does not allow. The government wants sugar cane prices to be always very high and sugar prices always to be very low. Now, there is a global shortage of sugar.
Very true.
And all agri commodities, probably it started with the Ukraine war. The El Nino effect and the weather change, climate impact was also affected.
True.
Brazil and India are the largest producers of sugar in the world market.
Very true.
Now, if suddenly you take out the world leader out of the
Equation.
there's going to be a huge shortage in amount of sugar and the price of sugar is going to rise.
Correct.
That's what is happening. And because a 3.3% drop in yield can cost a significant decrease in price of sugar production,
Yes.
and people know it.
That's
So
coming.
the trader has already accumulated and is sitting on enough sugar.
Very true.
And there are big sub buyers like Pepsi, Coke, and all that are big buyers.
Yes.
So they would have already started accumulating sugar in a huge manner.
Correct. They go down.
All this is what is pushing up the stock price in sugar stock in India. Now the government has been in denial for the last 3.5 years that there is inflation in India.
Very true.
And yesterday, the RBI governor told us that don't worry, all prices are begun to fall in September. We are not even in September. He has predicted that food prices will fall in September. So the correct way to do monetary policy is to increase interest rates.
Yes.
He has not allowed it. Core inflation is
Still
building up.
Yes.
And because core inflation is building up, agri inflation is also pushing up.
Domino effect.
Domino effect plus climate change.
Correct.
So now you had tomato, you had rice, now you have this
Sugar.
So if you allow the sugar guys to export, they'll repay all the debt, everything will be salt. But there is a festival season coming in India in the next 3 months.
Yes, we're on the beginning of the festival season has started.
It's not yet started, it'll start next month.
Yes.
And because during festival season, if there's a shortage of sugar, he's finished. And there are 5 state elections coming.
Correct.
So he does not want you to export. So what I'm saying is, all governments, including my government, will be unfair. Today it will talk like that, tomorrow it will flip. This is why I say don't get involved in
Invest in anything related to
the government. Somebody also asked you an interesting question on NATCO.
Yes.
And saying you don't do anything with agriculture. I said,
the question which the viewer had asked was, in our red book which you had written, that you had mentioned saying stay away from agriculture businesses, and now NATCO you're saying is a good company, but NATCO's main business is agricultural business. Why are you saying NATCO like this at the same time and saying don't buy agricultural stuff?
The two things are very clear. He has not listened to my videos. He has not read up on NATCO, nor has he understood my green red book. I said stay away from fertilizer companies because the government is controlling the price of fertilizer like it's doing sugar.
Very true. Correct.
Right? NATCO is not manufacturing fertilizer. NATCO is manufacturing agrochemicals, pesticides.
Correct.
And these pesticides are global, so they will sell all over the world.
Correct.
They have applied for an export license. There's one particular CTPR which is made by NATCO, which is a global bestseller, and somebody has a patent on it and is controlling the world market. This guy is trying to muscle himself into it. So he is doing a total turnover of only 50 crores from agrochemicals.
So it's got nothing to do with
He put 200 crores, 150 crores greenfield project and 200 crores stock. When that fellow went to court and got it banned, so the price dropped. The ban was lifted, stock sold, and it's now selling in like hotcakes, so the price is up. He is basically manufacturing cancer drugs.
Correct.
So when you want to read something, read fully.
Correct. This is why Anand repeatedly has said many times, do your own research, do your due diligence, know everything about it. Just don't listen to sound bits here and there and try to make up any investment ideas. Please don't do that. Please take your time, read what NATCO is, what it's doing, why Anand has said what it says, and investigate and see if it makes sense to you. Then do the investing. Just don't see a video or a bit of information on social media and decide, okay, I must also do this. Even we don't encourage you to do this at all. Coming back to dependence on government industries, this is why exactly you were saying it's good to avoid. Fertilizers also is dependent.
Fertilizer, sugar, power.
And cement.
Cement also. Cement is not government, but cement is a commodity.
Yes.
Again, dependent on debt.
Correct.
So stay away.
Correct. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative. on why the sugar cycle is something I would strongly advise you not to speculate in. And anyway, we are value investors and long-term investors. So study the company, see the management, as we always say, see the numbers, and if it makes sense, and if the price is correct, start investing in small ways till you slowly build up your portfolio. Don't go drop a huge dime on something and later on regret it. Thank you for watching Paisa Bolta today. Please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification icon so you'll be notified every time Anand has some new videos out for you. Thank you again for watching us today.
धन्यवाद, नमस्कार, जय हिंद। नमस्कार, फिर पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है। मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन। हमने बेंगलुरु की इवेंट के बाद इवेंट सऊदी अरेबिया में होल्ड करने की डिसीजन ले ली है। 22 सितंबर को हम रियाद में एक इवेंट कर रहे हैं और 29 सितंबर को हम जद्दा में मिल रहे हैं। जो भी मुझे मिलने चाहते हैं तो और सऊदी में रहते हैं उनको रियाद में 22 सितंबर और जद्दा में 29 सितंबर मिलेंगे। जो मुझे मिलने की इच्छुक हैं वो नीचे दिए गए ईमेल आईडी में मेल भेज सकते हैं और व्हाट्सएप नंबर से हमें संपर्क कर सकते हैं। धन्यवाद, नमस्कार, जय हिंद।